Hi everybody, what's going on? Today I am going to be doing a little harvest video and show you how the garden is looking after 115-degree days back to back. And some of the garden is looking definitely tired and some is thriving, like these pumpkins. They are loving their life. And the sunflowers that are shaded, they are loving their life. I have some pumpkins that are ready. I'm gonna wait until my daughter wakes up to pick them. And it looks really bright and early, like 10 o'clock in the morning, but it is actually like 6 a.m. And some loofahs, they're not ready. And then there are some peas that have not flowered yet. And then I have my sunflower row that is seen better days. And basil that's starting to go to seed. So I'm going to pick that also. And then I have my one big, I think, Howden pumpkin. And I'm waiting till it turns a little bit more of color. This is one of my favorite sunflowers, the neon yellow. Just stunner. And then I'll be collecting some sunflowers later once the seeds mature. And I have not seen any more pumpkins except for those couple that I've shown you. And some sunflowers have gone to seed, but I'm just going to wait to get after it a little bit later on during the week. And my corn, I wasn't too sure when to harvest, but when I went to the grocery store, I saw that their corn was fully green and it was ready to go. So I thought I better get after this before the heat takes it. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and everything has done well so far, but we are going to be in the triple digits for the remainder of June into July, and I just know that it's going to struggle a little bit to just produce fruit. So get a harvest now, and then later on during the week, if there's another harvest, I'm going to get after that also. Here's a little sneak peek of the containers. Beautiful. And my little basket. So let's get into it and pick this corn. This is my second attempt at growing corn, and I was very excited that I actually had yellow in the corn. As you can see, I was checking it out, wasn't too sure, but I was like, well, it looks a little dry. I just need to get after it and harvest it. And it was so amazing to peel back and reveal just bright yellow. And I guess the shaking of the little plants really did help pollinate, or it just did it on its own, but I was just ecstatic either way. And we had 2 good nights of eating on this corn. Obviously it wasn't enough for days on of back-to-back eating, but it was a very fun experiment for me and my daughter to watch the process for these past couple months, and she's super thrilled and super excited to see where her food comes from. So that just solidifies why I still garden and still do it to this day. Look at that. It didn't pollinate all the way to the top because I think it just didn't have enough time before it got super hot, or I just didn't water it enough. There could be a lot of factors. Then again, it is my second time growing corn. My first time, I just had the stalks grow and nothing pollinated. And then I just had like nice Halloween decorations, corn stalks to use. So this was more than pleasing to me to have this. And they look like there's nothing on there, but there was some good eating. It was pretty good. It was not like a juicy and sweet. It was more like a I don't know how to describe it. It was more of like hearty corn. So I'm not too sure what type it was, because I did use two, which was, I think, like peaches and cream was one of the types that I grew. And then the second type was like a seed from 4 years ago. So I'm not too sure which variety it was. But yeah, super stoked for that. And then I just harvested the last of my squash and my zucchini plant, because they were struggling already when it was like in the high 90s, and then with triple digits for the next month, it's not going to look well. So just continuing to harvest that. And then I did leave some corn still on the stalk, and I'm going to keep those to save for the seeds. And then I did have a little squash plant back here. As you can tell, I had a little neighborhood friend, a bunny, trying to make its home, and then I had to put a brick on top of it to prevent it from coming back for the little desert bunny, because it was a nice home for it, but it did destroy one of my squash plants, so it had to go. And I do see it around out in the desert landscape, so it's not like I can't see it no more, but it won't be in my garden. And then yeah, so I'm gonna let the corn on the stalks finish what they're doing, and then I will cut it all back. And then I just harvested one of the watermelon and one of the cantaloupe, and then I harvested all my peppers. And see, this zucchini is very, very tiny, unlike my other ones. And I think that was the last one, because I haven't seen any more since I harvested. I think it's just too hot for the flowers to survive. And this watermelon was the juiciest watermelon that I have grown. I've grown one Charleston variety before, and that was super huge, but it wasn't as sweet as these little tiny individual watermelon. And the cantaloupe, by far the best that I've had from any store or supermarket. And I did collect all the seeds, and then I will be using those for next year, because they have gone through our climate change and our weather, so hopefully the seeds and their genetics are more adapted to our growing situation that we have here in Arizona. And these peppers, so crisp when I use them for cooking. It was by far none. I'm gonna have to fertilize. I'm gonna have to re-fertilize everything, because I really want a big harvest pepper, but it's not going too well. Those are the only peppers that I have gotten before, and I've gotten, prior seasons, I've gotten so much peppers that I didn't know what to do with it before, and now this year it's totally the complete opposite. So I need to figure out what's going on. I might have to go to the nursery to find a couple more pepper plants and plant those for our fall crop. And hopefully we can get a couple more peppers going before, you know, winter takes in. And it usually dips down like after Halloween. So I got a pretty good window time for, you know, 3 more months for another season to grow some things. And I will be starting some seeds indoors actually, to see if I can get another crop. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm just super excited. Tomato harvest has been top notch on all the varieties. So I could not be more happier with that. And yeah, I'm just going to be doing some rearranging and cleaning out of the garden after we hit monsoon season, and just revamp the garden for, you know, fall crops. And I'll be doing some different things and experimenting with the time I have left of 2025. And then the basil plants, delicious. This is my second time harvesting, and I just put it on like a little tiny plate, not a little plate, but like a decent sized plate where it can get airflow, and I just let it air dry on the countertop. And then once it's all shriveled up, I just smash it and I put it in a little jar, and that's my basil for the year. And hopefully I can get 2 or 3 more harvests out of this so it can fill up my jar. And I'm super excited for what monsoon season has for us in store this year and the rest of fall garden season. Thanks for coming along with me on this harvest. And I just am so excited for all you new followers that have watched me and subscribed to me. That means the world to me. And to see everybody out there in the garden world and community, just loving what other people have and learning and just communicating. It's awesome. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more to come. Thanks guys, and have a wonderful summer. Goodbye.